I think now more than ever, people keep playing the comparison game. Oh, he has more money, or he has more status, or he has more stuff than me. Just too much of the comparison to other people game, right? And when you do that, it puts a mental aspect on you to where you become lower than them. Like you put them on a pedestal. You keep playing this comparison game with other people in your life, and it's just wrecking you, right? You can't tell me I'm wrong. Like you look at somebody and you're like, oh, they have higher status because they have better clothes than I do, right? Maybe you look at them and they're like, how do they have so much money? And then you put them on this pedestal. It's just an unhealthy way to look at life. You might be doing this, and I'm assuming you are because you clicked on this video, right? Every time you play this comparison game, it doesn't put you in a good place. It actually puts you lower and it makes you look down upon yourself, and it's just not healthy. So I want to provide a couple ways so you don't play the comparison game and you just are around people you love, and that way you're not worried about what other people think of you, and that way you're also not looking at other people in a higher status and putting them on a pedestal that they don't deserve to be on in the first place. The first thing I want you to do is really establish yourself. Take a look at yourself and think of who you are, right? Who did God make you to be, right? And you look at yourself and I want you to think about it. Think about who you are, what you like, some of your passions, and just how you're doing. Ask yourself, how are you doing? Be like, hey, how am I doing right now? Think about it. How am I doing? Because that's very important to understand and build from there. You have to be ready, and you have to be ready to have relationships with people. Because if you're not ready, if you're like not mentally stable, this isn't going to help you, this video. So I need you to be ready. I need you to be calm and look at yourself and be like, am I ready to take on relationships and friendships with people? So that way I'm not just immediately like having the comparison game with them instantly. I just want you to be ready before we kick things off. I want to make sure you're ready to have a relationship maybe with a special person or just your buddies, your friends, the people you hang out with, right? You need to be ready emotionally and mentally before you prepare yourself to have friends, because if you're not ready, you might start playing the comparison game, which is what I'm assuming you're doing because you clicked on this video. The second thing I want you to do, okay? You need to have a life outside of your friend group. And when you build out this life, let me tell you, it will make you more confident in yourself. A lot of the comparison game stems from a lack of confidence, right? Because you're always looking for others. You're kind of doing a people pleasing, if that makes sense. So you need to build out a life, a circle that all stems from the foundation that I just talked about. Build that circle, right? Whether that's gym, job, a hobby, maybe some other side thing you like doing. Maybe it's going on hikes and walking. Maybe it's playing games, video games. I don't like that one as much as hiking and doing stuff outdoors, but building a life where it's not always revolved around other people and their other people's opinions and other people's schedule. You need to build out your own time and your own schedule so that way you become independent from the other people, right? You don't need the other people, but you want to be socially involved with the other people, right? So that's very important, is to build out your own life so that way that basically helps a lot with when it comes to playing the comparison game, because the comparison game, the person who is the type of guy to be comparing other people to himself is the person who doesn't have that foundation of that life, that circle that I keep talking about. I keep doing this hand gesture of, is because they don't have a life and they need to build a life. I know I keep doing this motion. They need to build out some sort of life and a routine that they have that they enjoy doing. That way they're not always so dependent on other people, right? You need to become dependent on yourself because that's the only person you can control. And then with that, friends will come, right? So that's step two. The third step that I want to teach you comes right after building out that foundation, right? Now that you've built out that foundation and you have your own pattern and you have your own routine and you have your own thing going for you, the third thing that you need to do is you need to think about it in a different light, a different perspective. I want you to think about it when you go and walk into a room with your friends or people you don't know. I don't want you to immediately go to, oh, is that guy bigger and like stronger than me? Does he have more money than me? Do not think those things. Do not think of these people having higher status. Think of them as equal or maybe slightly lower. But don't become so ego, because being an ego is just not fun to be around, right? You don't want to become the people who are just really bossy, right? And like rude to everybody. You don't want to become that guy. But you need to make sure you have enough confidence to where, regardless if it's true or not, the playing field is level. So everybody's equal in your mind. It's all mental. That's what it is. So that's why the third step is, it's mental. So that way when you walk into a room, There's no thought in your mind that goes in your head that goes, does that guy have more money? Is that guy on a higher status than me? That guy's smarter than me. And those things might be true, right? You might not be at the level that they're at, but mentally they need to be on the same playing field, because when everybody's on the same playing field, playing the comparison game doesn't matter, because you're comparing everybody to everybody, and if everybody's equal in your mind, it is in your mind, remember that, then there's no problem. Like, there's no problem with that, because the comparison game isn't there, because everybody's equal in your mind. It's all mental, right? And then when you go talk to people, you might realize that, hey, these people are pretty cool, and the way you look at the situation when you talk to them verbally is you'll realize that you're not even comparing yourself to them anymore. You're just becoming friends with them. It just happens naturally. It's not that you're comparing yourself to them to see if you're worthy of their friendship. Because if that's the case and they're making you be worthy of their friendship, there's two things that could be wrong. Either they're just a really rude person, or like I said, you're mentally putting yourself in a vulnerable spot to where you're like their dog. They can just ask for anything. Oh, give me this. Oh, do you have any money for the vending machine? Oh, they just don't respect you. Right? You're like their pet. That's kind of how it is. It's a rude way to say it, but it's just true. People will use you, right? And a true friend would never do that. And so you kind of need to find the true friends, because there are bad people out there who are going to use you in the wrong way, and it's just not a good spot to be in. So, that part's not mental, but most of the game is mental, because you pretty much put yourself in there. You put yourself in the comparison game situation, right? So that part is on you, but there are genuine, like, just jerks out there that you don't need to be around. So stop playing the comparison game and realize that it's mostly mental. And once you build out all three foundations that I talked about, you're going to be well set and on your way to building a good amount of friends and a good amount of community, and you'll no longer be lonely. And I love to hear that for you.